I'm honored to be here, and I'm honored that you're here tonight to help us celebrate SeniorNet's 25th anniversary. SeniorNet was founded 25 years ago by Mrs. Mary Furlong in California. SeniorNet's mission is very simple. We strive to help adults over 55 to live fulfilling lives through technology. A very simple mission. Today we have more than 60 centers across the United States, including Indian reservations, where people go to learn. You just heard a video about our new capacity, which is online learning. Now we're able to reach thousands and thousands more people. The speakers this evening will share the SeniorNet partnership and how they will help us complete our mission. Before we get started, I'd like to recognize a very valuable player, SeniorNet team player. His name is Phil Carnegie. He's not here with us tonight. He lives in Las Vegas, Nevada. Phil has been with SeniorNet for more than 20 years. He's the technical backbone of SeniorNet. One heck of a guy. Secondly, I would like to say thank you to John Alger, SeniorNet Director of Operations. This team essentially directs all of the day-to-day operations within SeniorNet. Everything from cost cutting to cost management to the website, working with the centers, and everything else. You can imagine day-to-day operations. John, where are you? Could you step up here for a minute? Tonight we're celebrating, recognizing, so there will be awards passed out, and you can just see them. Now I'd like to introduce the Master of Ceremonies, Jim Zaniello. Jim Zaniello was a former board member, and he is now the special advisor to the board. He helps keep us straight in line. He brings a lot of expertise. His association management skills is worth $1 million for all of us. And he'll be the Master of Ceremonies for this evening. Before Jim comes up, let me show you another short video.
Microsoft recently teamed up with Colorado-based partner It's Never Too Late. Their goal, to work with the City of New York and Self-Help Community Services to improve the lives of homebound seniors.
And these are folks that live at home. They tend to be isolated. They may be suffering from anxiety and depression.
Enter the Virtual Senior Center, which uses computer, video, and internet technology to give homebound seniors an interactive experience with the outside world. This reduces social isolation and gives seniors better access to community services.
The real magic of it is that each person can also have their own unique experience. If they want a webcam to their granddaughter, they touch a picture of a webcam and they touch a picture of their granddaughter.
The first time I saw my granddaughter in there, it's like, oh my God, that was amazing.
67-year-old Rose is a former social worker. She uses her computer to connect with family in Germany.
She sends me pictures, she writes to me, we write back and forth.
Rose's next adventure, using the computer to learn German so she can speak with her granddaughter.
I'm involved with my children that I can't see on a personal basis. I can hear from my brother who talks a lot.
81-year-old Ethel never used a computer before. Her poor vision made it impossible. Now, with Magnifier and Windows 7, she's able to navigate, explore, and discover.
It makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel younger than what my age is saying.
Milton, an 86-year-old lifetime New Yorker, says his computer brings purpose to his life.
I'm not even interested in life without the computer. The honest to God's truth is, there's no life without something to do. So the computer gives you a whole new look at life.
Milton uses his computer to keep track of his health, to research business ideas, and even to get the food he likes to eat.
My daughter comes grocery shopping for me maybe once every 3 weeks. And then I found out about Fresh Direct. We have an account with her credit card, by the way, so I could order the stuff I like. Otherwise, I'm very cheap.
All the homebound seniors enjoy using video conferencing to virtually visit the senior center, especially 103-year-old Adele.
I see people dancing, learning how to dance. The first time I got up and held on to my chair and danced too. It was such a good feeling to be able to dance.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As Leslie said, I'm Jim Zaniolo. As a former board member and as a longtime supporter of SeniorNet, I'm honored and privileged to be here with you this evening. As Leslie said, we've got a lot to be thankful for this evening, and it's my job to help ensure that we do that right. So I'd like to ask Bill Camella, Senior Policy Counsel at Microsoft, to step up. On behalf of SeniorNet, I want you to know and to thank Microsoft for the many years of incredible and unwavering support that you showed us in helping us to achieve our mission to deliver online and classroom learning to seniors. Microsoft has been one of our biggest supporters, and this evening, to say thank you, we'd like to give you this award.
Good evening. We can do better than that. Good evening. Thank you. It's obviously a thrill for me to be here. Mr. Morales, Mr. Childs, Mr. Stevens, Chief Rogers, Mrs. Mansouri, Chairman Smith, Board of Directors, and of course all of you. Welcome to our hometown of Washington, D.C., and we hope you have a wonderful stay. On behalf of the 92,000 Microsoft employees around the world, it is indeed an honor and really a distinct privilege for me to represent our company at your 25th anniversary celebration. You'll notice that I've dyed my hair in honor of this momentous occasion. Trying. In the spirit and following the grand tradition of couples celebrating their 25th anniversaries, I thought I'd talk a little bit about how did Microsoft and SeniorNet meet. We were immediately captivated upon our introduction to SeniorNet. SeniorNet's leadership, represented by its fabulous board of directors over the years, brought and continues to ensure that technology is packaged for adults who hadn't used it during their professional careers. This personal characteristic was something we really didn't see in any of the others we were dating or have dated since. SeniorNet has provided adults over 55 with computer skills and internet training for 25 years in classrooms all around the country. SeniorNet work over the years has made us smarter and hopefully wiser, certainly more intelligible to the students who crowd into their classrooms day to day and had for year after year. And how might the happy couple of SeniorNet and Microsoft plan for and look towards the next 25 years and the ultimate celebration of our golden anniversary? We know SeniorNet will keep pace with the ever-expanding and evolving use of technology, and consequently bring a needed perspective to the discovery and use of it by older adults. No doubt by this time in year 2036, SeniorNet will be there for the adults who are now mere children in their 20s, who have been fortunate to have grown up with technology, or will have used it through their entire professional careers. One can only wonder what the technology will look like in 25 years, but it is certain that SeniorNet will be celebrating 50 years with examples of ways in which it is assisting the older adults of that time, with technology that doesn't use a keyboard or a mouse, isn't held in one's hands, and has us wondering how seamlessly it anticipates our every move, every need and move. And you'll see that very soon with all the voice commands, natural user interface, etc. that's coming to a neighborhood close to you very soon. Finally, no matter how pleased and fortunate Microsoft has been in our association with SeniorNet, we're obviously not going to be coasting. And in fact, we'll need to be even more active as we enter the next 25 years of our relationship. We take it as a reminder just how much we appreciate our partner. We ask ourselves aloud, why is SeniorNet so critical to Microsoft? It's simple. SeniorNet has taken the complex technology of the day and packaged it for consumption. Most interesting and probably fairly characteristic of a happily married couple, one of us has opted to put more thought into the celebration of this occasion. As opposed to a gathering of supporters, friends, and colleagues to reflect upon the accomplishments of 25 years of service, our better half has chosen to use the occasion to plan no less than 2 new activities, which you all should be extremely proud of. Your program to add computer training to more senior assisted living facilities and the Seniors Back to Work effort. And in March, SeniorNet, as you all know, launched an affordable online learning center with more than 300 courses designed for older adults who can't travel to centers, those with limited mobility, or anyone who wants to improve their computer skills away from home 24/7. And SeniorNet has impressed us with their interest in our new 1-hour class. And nearly 2 years after becoming the first national pilot for the MyPC 3-hour series of computer classes we've developed, SeniorNet again steps up to be the first in the nation to adopt and deliver the MyPC 1-hour series of workshops to seniors around the country. Give yourselves a hand, that's amazing. Marriage analogies aside, SeniorNet is the bridging influence between technology and seniors, bringing technology to the senior population in a consumable and meaningful way, keeping their pulse on what's relevant in the technology world and the workplace, and making it their mission to bring that relevance to an often underserved population which struggles to keep pace with the ever-changing IT industry. With their current thought leadership, the board of directors, SeniorNet has not only been an innovative partner to Microsoft, but they've also served as a critical bridge between seniors, the underserved, and technology, equipping them with the tools they need to be productive and successful individuals, before and after retirement, and of course, well into our golden years. It was nothing short of a miracle that we met, but we are certainly glad that we did. Over the years, we have grown together in ways that have hopefully been mutually beneficial. We know we've benefited immensely. We look forward to the next 25 years. While we have to run and keep up with you, you keep our technology in shape and you keep us young. Congratulations.
I've got a series of awards to present. The first is for someone very important to SeniorNet, who we learned earlier today their plane was late, so I don't know if she's been able to join us, but we wanted to recognize our founder, Dr. Mary Furlong. I don't see that she's able to join us this evening, but a great visionary. Mary, a long time ago, recognized that there's talent, wisdom, and experience in nation's seniors. But that back then there was a lack of education and access to computers and the internet. So in 1986, she founded SeniorNet with just 5 learning centers. Fast forward 25 years today, her dream, her vision, SeniorNet, is now the nation's premier provider of communication education for older Americans in need. So even though she's not with us this evening, I hope we'll all wish Mary a hearty thank you for bringing us together this evening. Next, I'd like to present a thank you award to Verizon, accepting on behalf of Jeff Kramer, who is the Executive Director of Wireless Public Policy and Strategic Alliances, who unfortunately couldn't be with us this evening, is Deborah Speed, who's the Director of Strategic Alliances. A nationwide technology leader, Verizon has been a key supporter of ours through the years. Their support has enabled us to expand our reach across the country. And Deborah, I'd like to present you with this award if you're in the room with us. And our final, I shouldn't say our final, our next recognition is for the gentleman who helped ensure that we were all here in this room this evening, and that's Senator Herb Kohl of Wisconsin. As you all know, he is the chairman of the Senate Special Committee on Aging and has been a tireless advocate for many elderly Americans across the country. If it wasn't for his work here this evening, SeniorNet would not have had the opportunity to come as far as we have as well, and we'd like to thank him for helping us celebrate this evening. Now I'd like to invite a very special board member of ours, Slava Vera, to join me up here. and if the rest of the SeniorNet board would be kind enough to join me as well. I got them to agree to sing the national anthem this evening to kind of get things going.
The first thing I have to lower this. Thank you for this opportunity to say a few words. In times of crisis, true leaders are born. Where SeniorNet started to show signs of malaise, it took action and initiative to reinvent the organization and bring it into the 21st century. On behalf of the board of directors, would like to present to our own chairman, Leslie, the plaque, which by showing it to too many people has lost it. But on behalf of SeniorNet, presented to Leslie in honoring his commitment to making a difference in all phases of life and for nurturing the education of younger seniors. Our thanks and appreciation, SeniorNet Board of Directors.
And to thank you for all of that, Leslie has asked that I extend your term on the board of directors by another 3 years, so congratulations. We hope you'll catch up with him. SeniorNet could not do the valuable work that we do without the crucial support of so many key sponsors and partners, companies like AT&T. Through funding provided in part by AT&T, SeniorNet has been able to develop key learning center programs and make additional educational services available to a growing number of seniors throughout the country and in underserved communities. This evening, we're fortunate to have Susan Mazrui, the Director of Global Public Policy at AT&T, with us. She has been a longtime champion of SeniorNet's work, and the organization deeply appreciates what she has done to support us over the years. Susan. We have a thank you award for you.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll put this.
This is a great honor. And being here today is a great honor. I appreciate the work that you all do on a daily basis because we all benefit as a society by having a more inclusive environment. We know that the work at SeniorNet helps make our country a better country and helps us and our families and our communities every single day. AT&T understands the importance of getting broadband service out to millions of Americans. We understand the importance of having access, but we also know that it's not enough just to have access to technology. The technology has to be accessible to people, and that's where SeniorNet comes in. With the opportunity to provide a range of services in terms of in-home, in community, and the outreach that's done to make the folks understand how to make their products and services accessible and usable by people throughout life stages, SeniorNet has truly made a difference in the lives of millions of people. Today we have an opportunity to understand the importance of access to internet. When SeniorNet was founded, it was nice to have access to the internet. Today it's critical. Many people today, as grandparents, find themselves as heads of households. The economic times are much harder, and many people are returning to work that never expected to do this. And providing the skills that you need to have access to the internet and access technology make a difference in their lives every day. You shouldn't be stopped from working, contributing, providing a lifetime worth of experience to companies who need that expertise by an online application process. And SeniorNet helps bridge that and prepare people for the new tools to make them as productive in the workplace as well. We understand the importance of access to the internet because today, most of the information you're seeing today in social services, in employment, in community participation, in networking, providing access is critical to the internet. And because of this, every day people need to be able to have the ability to work closely to understand how these tools are used. We would never introduce someone to a car and say, you've seen cars every day, here are keys, go out and drive. It wouldn't work. And the same is true for technology. we look at digital natives and we don't take into consideration that these people who are very young, who've grown up with technology, have had thousands and thousands of hours of experience. And the experience may have started with something very young, like matching things as kindergartners. We have a whole population of people today who have so much to offer, and all they need is someone who can show them how to drive the technology and how to work with it. I also want to acknowledge today how grateful we are to people at SeniorNet who individually contribute to what we do at AT&T. So Al, I'm going to ask you to stand up and embarrass you as much as possible. Al serves on our AT&T advisory panel on access and aging, and he is responsible, as many of you are in the room, for making products and services more accessible, for making technology more beneficial to people. And because of Al's work, we've introduced some products, the Pantech Breeze, which was a product that was looked at, where we looked at the needs of people who are aging and what we wanted. No dogs though. Dogs were not involved in this. And we looked at how we can better serve people. I have to apologize for my dog today. She has been up since very early this morning doing presentations. And she is wearing purple because we know that aging is a nonpartisan issue. So we want to cover both. But it is folks like Al and his efforts, and the folks, and many of you in the room doing today, to provide training that provide opportunities, and opportunities are what makes this country great. We know the workforce is graying. We need a more flexible workforce. We need a workforce that enables telework and the ability to work from home if you're not able to get about easily. SeniorNet provides that opportunity. We are very grateful for the work they do. We are very happy and privileged to be able to support efforts that they've done and other organizations. And I'm getting the name wrong, I apologize. I want to get the right. NCBA, the work they're doing to actually reach out to people who are in underserved populations. Because we know the dual disability of aging and being an underserved population is critical. We need to get the services out to the community, out to where people are. And SeniorNet does that, whether it's in the home, whether through online services, or it's in the community. SeniorNet is there, and they've been there for a very long time, and we expect that they'll be there for a very long time. When I started my relationship with SeniorNet, it was for people who are older. Now it's for people like me. And I'm so pleased that I've had an opportunity to benefit from the expertise you all have, and the opportunity to learn and to develop products and services that I look forward to using in the next 25 years. So thank you.
Now it's a great pleasure to welcome Jack Stevens, the Chief of the Division of Economic Development at the Department of Interior. SeniorNet was fortunate to receive funding and support from the department and through other organizations as well, to open 5 achievement centers in underserved Native American communities through our Hope and Harmony for Humanity initiative. Jack, thank you for being with us this evening, and we'd like to give you a little thank you award.
Well, good evening. It's my honor to be here to meet all of you and to celebrate this marvelous 25th anniversary. I've worked with Leslie Smith and traveled throughout Indian country, stood under the big skies of Montana, under the broiling sun of Texas, and amid the pristine lakes of Minnesota. Had many adventures along the way. If they made a movie about it, they'd call it Les and Jack's Excellent Adventures. But I have to recognize Les Smith as the most courageous man in this room, because he's traveled throughout Indian country with a man who closely resembles George Custer. It's a sad fact that some 90% of American Indian reservations lack access to high-speed internet. And the truth is that at the worst, tribes have been excluded and at the best ignored from a great number of media and communications services. There was a study done in 2009 that showed that even though Native people are deprived for the most part of these services, that when they have them, they blog and they use iPods and they draw down information to a greater extent than the average American. Now, what does this mean in Indian country? Well, internet access, as we know, is really critical to learning. And in the Indian context, it is critical to preserving native languages and cultures. It provides a basis for e-commerce and native participation in the global marketplace. And most importantly, it allows Native Americans to participate profoundly in our democratic society. But what SeniorNet has done in Indian country is not all about Indians, it's about the rest of us. Because without that type of access, we are deprived of the richness of Indian culture, Indian ways. We are deprived of the communication that Indian nations can provide us and the lessons that we can learn from Native peoples. We are culturally and intellectually poorer when tribal nations are absent from cyberspace. It's my pleasure this evening to introduce Chief Donald W. Rogers. We had the pleasure of opening with Chief Rogers a computer technology center at the Catawba Nation. Catawba Nation is located in South Carolina, not far from Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's a tribute to Chief Rogers' leadership and the able work of his Economic Development Director, Karen Nichols, sitting right there. Karen, will you stand up and take a little recognition? We brought to that reservation software, hardware, and most importantly, the training. And that was just the beginning, because this tribe has made that technology center one of the best in Indian country. And so with that, let's give a big hand to Chief Rogers.
In the Catawba language, we say hawo, which is thank you, and I need to introduce myself in my own language. Tanake tini yero niat namosika niat Chief Donald Rogers. Very simply, I said, hello, how are you? My name is Red Cloud. I was given a Catawba name when I was young by our former chief, and there's always stories why things happen. And I was sitting here with Mr. Morales and Mr. Camella, and looking at the numerous pages that they were going through for their chats. And I said, well, they wouldn't let me build a fire in here and bring my assistant because the air conditioner would blow it around. I would say words that would be confusing. That would be my communication through the smoke signals. And I compare that. I really wish that I could have had a little smoke, just a little. What I would have done is I would have taken it in my hand and allowed the smoke to escape, and thereby said, there was 4 gig in that. So, things have changed for Indian people tremendously and phenomenally in the past 10 or 15 years. And with that, we were blessed, really blessed, to have the opportunity to work with SeniorNet and IBM and Microsoft and Leslie and Jack came to our reservation and others who are here tonight to set up our Achievement Center. And that Achievement Center has done many things for our people. One, it has allowed us, Indian people who were not allowed to leave their reservations, for them to travel to work, for them to see sights they've never seen before, for them to download pictures of the grandchildren who live in the West, or even in other countries. And so the ability for us to have this achievement center there is quite unique, because many times in the past with Native American communities, doors have always been closed. And with the Interior Department helping us and opening up those doors so that Native people can be served just like anyone else is. And we have now opportunities for our seniors to learn, to do things. You know, used to, when a person retired at the age of 62, some years ago, I think when I retire, I think I've got to be almost 70 years old before I can retire. I've got a few years yet to do that. It's going to be, you know, the older people would sit on the front porch in a rocking chair, and they would literally wait there until they died. And it's not that way anymore. Now people can do many things inside their home through the use of some magic, we call it. I don't know how you get all that information on that little Cat5 line that comes into your home, but it works. And you can see many, many blessings that come into people's lives for doing so. Internet in itself and technology in itself has helped Indian country in many different ways. We ourselves have an Indian Health Service facility located on our reservation, and those of you who may know about the Indian Health Service, it's a service provided to Indian people through Health and Human Services, and provide pretty much what we call priority one things, life and limb. It's service, but it does help. And what we do is our Indian Health Service facility was one of the first who went online with medical health records, electronic medical health records. And we had actually been communicating with the Medical University of South Carolina, and they are using our information and some of the things, working with Indian Health Service to help them. And I think it's just a great thing. Now, the roles have changed a little bit once again. That here we have one of the, you know, in South Carolina, the biggest medical university in South Carolina, coming and learning from our people. And it makes us feel blessed, tremendously blessed. Our Achievement Center began in September of 2008 through our SeniorNet program and IBM's generous contribution of our 11 computers and the Microsoft updates, and appreciate for all those things. And what it creates is something that people don't really associate with Indians. We have Custer here sitting beside us, and it has created one phenomenal partnership. You know, we wander through life, and we experience many different things, and we learn from one another. And when somebody learns something, it is in the best interest of our children to share that. And that creates partnership, so we can grow together and learn together. The senior learning that takes place in our Achievement Center is great. I love to hear some of our seniors say, I got a new picture of my grandchild who just graduated high school somewhere, and here's their picture. Or, you know, I went and visited Venezuela and saw the beautiful area there just through the internet. And so they were able to do those things. But we've expanded our Achievement Center to include a job placement and training program, teach people how to go online and do job applications and to do their GED programs in case they're not. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the Indian community, not until the recent years have Indian people become more involved in college work and college education. Most of our people, my mother only had a 3rd grade education because the school on the reservation only went to the 6th grade. And for many years, they weren't allowed to go off the reservation and go to school. And so the education of our people is important. And so it helps us create opportunities for our older people to get a GED, to get opportunities to learn how to apply online for jobs. Because like I said, when seniors retire, they don't really retire. They don't go back to that rocking chair. They do many things, and so it teaches them those things. It also has helped our Head Start program by offering a place for them to learn. We have a smart board in there and to do training for our advisory council and the Head Start program staff. It's very helpful, and the partnership's great with all of our tribal entities. Now, I have to say a couple of things in closing. I don't have many pieces of paper here. Only had one. And but I want to say that when we see our seniors today, I hope you understand I'm tender about them. Because when we lose them, we lose our language, we lose our history, we lose our stories that they tell us. And if we don't allow them to continue to leave ways for us to learn from them, then we lose out. And some of our seniors are doing journals, photo journals, things like this to leave it to their children and grandchildren. But we also hope to, in the future, one of my desires is to get our seniors to do some video technology and have them tell their stories, have them tell of whenever they weren't allowed to go to high school, when they weren't allowed to work in the community, but then when we were allowed to be citizens in this country. My mother was 11 years old. My great uncle was fighting in World War II, but he wasn't a citizen of this country. And it's horrible. But now, with the opportunities we're given with SeniorNet to allow our older people to go out and experience things that they never had, it's wonderful, because they now have a light into the outside world that at one time wasn't shown to them. And so it's a blessing to them. And we take it as a blessing from Leslie. Leslie and I have been on several conference calls, and Leslie, thank you so much. So I have to close with a story. And I have to ask for permission to tell the story of the chipmunks. Not Alvin, Theodore, and Simon, but the chipmunk story of how they got their stripes. So I have to ask, in our tradition, to be privileged to tell you this, but I have your permission to tell the story. Thank you very much. Many years ago, two chipmunk brothers were walking alongside the river. And the little brother said, "Hey, big brother, my back, it sure does itch. Would you scratch it for me?" And we, I know Leslie has several sons here. Are you the younger brother or the older brother? Okay, so we know how conniving and uncooperative that you are. And so Big Brother said, "Well, why do you want me to scratch your back?" And he said, "Well, it's itching really bad." And so Big Brother reluctantly scratched Little Brother's back. Little Brother was standing there, "Oh, it feels good right there, yeah, right there." He said, "Hey, what'd you stop for?" And Big Brother said, "Well, my paw's tired. I don't want to scratch your back all day." And he said, but Big Brother, the itch is still there. Would you scratch it really, really hard for me one last time? I don't want to ask you to scratch it again. So as conniving as Big Brothers are, he reached out his paws, and out came all of his claws, and he started to rake down Little Brother's back really, really hard. And he's standing there, "Oh, that feels real good. Stop, you're hurting me." Big Brother jumped back, and he said, "Oh no, Little Brother. I've scratched your back so hard that I left stripes in your back." Little Brother was like, "Yeah, right. You know how Big Brothers tell Little Brother stories. They're not always truthful with us." And he said, "Oh no, Little Brother, if you don't believe me, look at your reflection in the slow-moving river, and there you will see stripes." And so Little Brother hopped down to the bank of the slow-moving river, and sure enough, he looked at his reflection, and he saw these beautiful stripes in there. And he said, "Wow, Big Brother, those sure are beautiful." And Big Brother, as they are, was sitting on the bank of the river, kicking around a pine cone, saying, "Yeah, they sure are beautiful, but I don't have any." Why is it that when Little Brother has something, Big Brother always wants it? And so he said, "Little Brother, would you please scratch my back really, really hard and put those beautiful stripes in my back too?" And of course, as good as Little Brothers are, he scratched his back really, really hard and put those beautiful stripes in his back. And so is the story, the Catawba's true story of Dippin' Duck-Up-Switzer, one whose back is striped, or the story of the chipmunk. And the moral to the story is, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. So thank you very much.
I suspect that for many of you, IBM needs no introduction. One of our nation's blue chip leaders, IBM has been a long-time supporter of SeniorNet. From corporate sponsorships to the 5 learning centers they help sponsor on American Indian reservations, IBM continues to play a leading role in SeniorNet. And I'd like to introduce Al Morales, and thank you for the organization's support.
As many of you know, I work for IBM, so I'm going to give a thank you.
Well, thank you. I have to remind myself never to come after Chief Rogers because it's tough to top a story like that. So I'm going to be real brief here, and I am editing my notes as you're chatting. So 25 years. That's a long time in today's world, and who wouldn't give a right arm right now to be 25 years old again today? But I think the fact that we're all here today is a testament to the hard work and the dedication and the mission that CNUNet has. And so I'm very proud to be here today to talk a little bit about how IBM has built a relationship with CNUNet and some of the work that we're doing with them. So aside from 25 years, IBM is also, this is also a very special year for IBM. For this year, in about 4 weeks, we will be celebrating our 100-year anniversary. We'll be marking the 100-year anniversary with a series of initiatives where we're going to engage local communities and thought leaders around the world on the theme of changing the way the world works. Rather than simply celebrating our past, we want to take the insights, the learning, and the experience that we've gained collectively over the past 100 years to use them to engage into a dialogue with the community so that we can shape the future of our country and of the world. We want to build a smarter planet. CNUNet is an organization that is helping to build that very smarter planet. As we have defined it, CNUNet is beginning to demonstrate it. CNUNet is interconnected across the country. It is helping seniors become instrumented and infuses its constituents with intelligence. IBM has enjoyed our relationship with CNUNet now for over 20 years, with the efforts with your chairman, Leslie Smith, a current IBM employee, and with Ted Childs, our former IBM Global Workforce Diversity Executive. The year Leslie became chairman at CNUNet, CNUNet launched the Underserved Initiative, with the focus on seniors living in rural and poor areas in the U.S. A year later, in 2006, IBM provided a multi-year grant of cash and hardware of almost $450,000 to launch learning centers on American Indian reservations. And in fact, the Catawba Nation was one of those centers, as well as the Blackfeet Reservation in Montana. I'm very humbled and I'm honored to be wishing CNUNet a happy anniversary in 25 years of service. And I'm very proud to be here and to work with you to make the world better for our seniors. And now I'm very happy to bring back your chairman and IBM's very own Leslie Smith.
Are we ready? Okay. I'm sure I speak for all of CNUNet. And welcome the Assistant Secretary, Kathy Greenlee. A little bit about her background. She was appointed by President Obama and is committed to better serving persons, caregivers, and her high priority is building partnerships with federal, state, tribal, and private organizations. Prior to coming to Washington, she served as Aging Secretary in Kansas and has held many other prestigious jobs. I'd like to present now the Honorable Kathy Greenlee.
Well, good evening, late afternoon, and good to see you all. They closed the curtain so you couldn't see outside, didn't they? Keep you here on this wonderful event. It's nice to be here with you to celebrate the 25th anniversary. So congratulations. It's interesting to me, having finished my second year as Assistant Secretary, that you had the foresight 25 years ago to start this work. And so I just want to acknowledge the corporate partners, the community partners. I don't know if Reverend Williams is here. I saw Reverend Williams. I've been to Emmaus Senior Center, your local CNUNet site. It's incredible to me that 25 years ago you started on this journey. I'm 51. I am at the tail end of the baby boom generation, not the very end, but close to the end. And I think it's interesting that when you started on this work, I was 25. And in 25 years, I will be 76. And I will be the population that you've been aiming for by the time I get to 76, or at that point, 50 years. I consider myself, with regard to tech, also roughly approximate the 3 generations in my own family. And I'd like to tell stories when I talk. I don't usually talk about my family, but I'm dying to tell you stories about my mother and the internet as I'm up here. I have a niece who's 21. My mother is 73. And so our use of technology is very much reflective of your own growth and progression. Because of the work that I've done in the field of aging, I have visited seniors and senior services in many, many, many locations and seen wonderful things across all settings. I've seen Emmaus, like I mentioned. I've seen the use of technology in skilled nursing homes. And I have had the opportunity to see how technology has really changed seniors' lives. And as I think about the progression of where you've come from, where you've been, and where we're heading, I think that your history is an interesting evolution of what's happening in the larger context of providing services to seniors. That you caught a wave 25 years ago that we will need now and for the next 25. I think where we started with seniors was with kind of individually, how can we use this technology of a computer as providing more entertainment for you? So you can have an email and you can contact your grandkids, and I'm not devaluing entertainment, but how can you connect through the internet? How can we use the internet to download pictures? How can you load pictures on your computer? That much of the early use was to teach seniors, how do you turn it on, and what do you do, and how does it work, and what can it provide for you? And it was a very individual-based approach. Here's your one computer, and when you started, this is before we were all networked. Here's your one computer, what can it do for you? And I think it's interesting to point out that that's what we were doing, one person at a time. I also think one person at a time is the future, but in a very, very different way. So we started working with seniors one person at a time, and then the internet evolved, and then we had social networking develop, and this whole opportunity for a different kind of engagement. And it's through Facebook and other sites that we have now started to see what will happen in the future as we break down isolation, as we provide connection. Chief, I appreciated your comments about how you can reach with the internet to isolated rural individuals. I met with a group of people that I work with from a diverse group of elder organizations, talking about how the internet can help us overcome language and can help us reach people in different languages in their own homes. The social networking aspect is moving us in this direction. My mother got Facebook a few years ago. I was there first. And she signed up for Facebook, and we did, over the course of a week, a series of crisis calls while I was at work. So we got her signed up. My sister just hates it. Who's a couple years younger than me. But Mom, she signed herself up for Facebook. And she was on either Gmail or Yahoo. I don't remember which one. But when she set it up, Facebook said, do you want us to search your address book and send friend requests to everybody? And so without her knowing, she said yes, but without her knowing, Facebook sent friend requests to all these people. And someone accepted that she really didn't want to be friends with. So I got this call in the middle of the afternoon. I'm the Secretary of Aging in Kansas. In the middle of the afternoon, I'm talking to my mother about how you unfriend someone on Facebook. And the whole different social kind of protocol. No, they don't send them an email. You don't have to announce that you just quietly removed someone from Facebook. She is on this all the time, sending information, uploading pictures, connecting with her RV friends. And I was home one time. That's why I told you about the 3 generations. I was with my niece. I was in Kansas. We both had our laptops open. We were both on Facebook. And my niece started chatting. Well, I didn't know how to chat on Facebook, so Emily showed me how to chat on Facebook. So I come back, I moved to DC. My mom's on Facebook one night. I sent her a note to chat with her on Facebook. She sent me a text message. I don't know how to chat on Facebook. Get back on, Mom, and call me, and I'll walk you through it. Now she's irritated when all of her friends don't chat back. So we have seniors now who are embracing this technology, Young people who are pushing us along, and those of us in this sandwich generation, navigating new technologies ourselves and learning from the young and passing them along. It is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for us all. Very social, very much a way to engage. I saw this happen, this connectivity with seniors and their families in a very different way at a nursing home in Wichita about 3 or 4 years ago. The nursing home is Larksfield Place, and it's an award-winning nursing home because it's embraced culture change in nursing homes, very resident-centered. And there were some residents there, and I don't remember if it was an individual or a couple, who had a grandchild getting married, and the resident could not attend the wedding. So they Skyped the wedding, or they used some other technology like this, and all of the nursing home participated in the wedding. They used it in one of their side community rooms. They had cake and a reception. You know, finding meaningful activities for seniors in nursing homes is challenged. The best people know how to do it and others don't. And in this time, they could involve the seniors who were living in this facility and their friends and their family and have cake and have a meaningful activity that day to include family and let the seniors participate. These are the kinds of things that the network and the connectivity allow us to do right now. What you are focusing on and talking about now, it's like what's happening in 25 years, is how we then use the internet to do more for us, to provide more access for seniors. What you're doing in terms of focusing on jobs and placement is really important. We have many, many more seniors who, either because they choose to or because they need to, will work longer. This sense of an age of retirement has really been erased, and people want to remain engaged, and because of the economy, some have to. So being able to support older workers in doing searching and accessing information about employment is very, very important. So I want to applaud you for how you see that we can use this technology right now on behalf of seniors to connect them with a resource to help them remain independent, to help provide economic security. What we look at the Administration on Aging, and I work as the administrator also of the CLASS program, which is the long-term care program, private insurance program that was adopted with the Affordable Care Act. We look at the future in terms of delivery of services, and that we will move from accessing information to delivery of services. You know our programs perhaps best by Meals on Wheels, or the home delivered programs. And anybody who has an inkling of understanding of Meals on Wheels understands that it delivers two things. Every time we take a meal to someone's house, we feed them and we make sure they're okay. And many, many places in this country, they do this at Emmaus here. They do assurance calls, they do outreach to seniors in their area, in their catchment area. Are you okay? This is another way that we will be able to reach increasing numbers of seniors in remote places to do something as simple as check on their welfare. Are you okay? To assess for depression and other needs and figure out how we can use this tool to be able to bring services. I also think the services themselves will be transmitted electronically. And if you think about care management and caregivers, what we can begin to do with telemedicine and telehealth to help a senior remain independent is critical to our ability to serve increasingly large numbers of seniors with decreasing assets and fewer resources. And so I think, I don't want to invite myself back in 25 years because I really would like to retire by that time too. But I think that is the 50th anniversary celebration, that the internet by that time will be robust and complete, and the service delivery mechanism. It will never substitute for the human touch, but it can provide information and access to the people that need to respond, the caregivers, both paid and unpaid in family, who need the information so that we can respond to and get to seniors and provide them supports when they're most at risk or most frail. You all have had a vision for a long time. I want you to be around for a long time more because you were there early. You need to stick with it. We need more corporate sponsorship. We need more communities involved because what seniors can get from this asset in this country will be essential to their longevity and taking advantage of this good long life that health has brought us and the ability to do for seniors, with seniors, the thing that they most want, and that's to help them stay home. And that, I think, is the ultimate goal for all of the work that we're doing. So I want to stick around and help you give out awards to the fabulous group that you all are working with. Thank you.
Every year there is a somewhat of a contest within SeniorNet. It's the qualifying for the Chairman's Award. Last year we had 3 winners, and those winners are, would you step up front please? Slava Rivera from Huntington, New York. Chief Donald Rogers, Fred Elsner, and we have a Volunteer of the Year award. Volunteers are the element that drives SeniorNet. And that Volunteer of the Year is Hank Clemente. Hank, where are you? This way, young man.